guys come shopping with me at the REI Co-op. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more and also like and comment on this video. Comment if you've ever been to the REI store or anything similar to that before. If you don't know what an REI Co-op is, don't worry, I didn't know either. But based off of my very extensive research, which was basically just reading a pamphlet that somebody who worked at the store gave me when they were trying to get me to sign up for the membership, it's basically a community owned kind of operation where they sell a whole bunch of different things for like camping purposes, or if you're like hiking or doing anything kind of outdoorsy or physical activity wise. They definitely sell different things here. They also sell stuff like backpacks and apparel that go into kind of being a person who hikes, I guess would be the best way to describe it. They sell all sorts of equipment too, including things to like cook, thermoses, bottles. They even sell food here that you can take out with you. So that is like a TLDR of what a REI co-op store even is. I think that they aren't like a super well known like national chain, not like, one of those other stores like Dick's Sporting Goods or something, or the big base shops. Like, I don't think they're quite on that level quite yet, but they are the nearest one to me and they produce a lot of really high quality stuff. So that's why I went in on this day kind of to look around at what they had and what they were like kind of, selling. And the reason that I did that is because I was actually planning on going hiking and I needed a new hiking backpack for my trip out to the woods. I was going to go hiking and do a little bit of a camping trip for a couple of days. So I needed a backpack that could store a bunch of different things for me on that day. So I went in and I was kind of looking around. They have a bunch of different great options for like different kinds of backpacks and stuff. And what I noticed is that they have a really wide selection of like colors and styles for the backpacks too, which is really, really nice because you're not like kind of like locked into the singular hiking backpack style that is kind of like well known, or at least I think that they're well known. Like, whenever I think of a hiking backpack, I think of a very clear picture in my head of like a long black backpack with like a bunch of straps, and like there's this thing at the top that's like a hoodie or whatever, and you put your sleeping bag in there. And that's what I always think of. And I personally just don't really like the style of that kind of backpack. It's not really that cute to me. But they did have a bunch of different kinds of styles and a bunch of different kinds of colors, so I wasn't just stuck with black. Although I will admit I did end up getting a black backpack just because I was like, if I'm going out into the woods for a few days, it's probably going to get dirty. It's probably going to get like not that nice, so I don't want to get like a light color or something that'll show like that it's dirty that quickly, I guess. So I did end up getting a black backpack. So a bit of a hypocritical statement from me, I will fully admit. But I did not get one of those same styles of backpack. So, it's like you win some, you lose some, I guess. I did get a really large backpack that was able to fit everything that I needed when I went out and did my hike. I took with me a couple of different thermoses full of water, some snacks for the trail. I also took my like sleeping bag kind of situation, which the REI store also sells at like their locations, which I thought was pretty cool. Something else that I didn't realize that they sold was like skincare items, although it's not like skincare, it's more just like sun protection, like sunscreen and lip balms with SPF in it. But I did think that that was pretty nice, and that's something that I think a lot of people always end up forgetting when they go out camping or whatever. Like, you definitely need sun protection in general, especially these days with like everything that's in the air. And like, I think that our ozone has been fixed, but like the atmosphere is letting in more UV lights and stuff. So Don't quote me on anything I just said. I am not a scientist, so I don't know for sure. But I think that it is just something that's really, really needed these days. And it's something that's really just fantastic in general to have. I personally use a sunscreen that I just picked up from Sephora when it was on sale for like $5. I picked up a few of them and they have lasted me since like last June, and it's almost November right now. So for $5, I think it was a really good deal. And so I kind of continued on with the REI store. I was looking through a bunch of different things and I ended up at the sleeping bag, sleeping mat section. And what I will say is that the REI store has like the friendliest people ever working, because there was this guy who came up to me and he was like super helpful. He started pulling out all of these different mats and stuff and like laying them on the ground. He was like encouraging me to lay on the ground to like try them out, which I thought was really nice. And I ended up not buying anything from the REI store because the lowest cost item was like $200, which I just did not know if I was going to go hiking or camping enough to justify buying something like that. And also because the vast majority of their goods that they were selling on that day were air filled. And what I've noticed in the past with air filled merchandise in general is that it tends to pop really quickly, especially when you're on the literal forest ground, which I would be when I was going hiking and camping. So it's like, maybe let me go and like do a little bit more research. Maybe let me go and like buy something off of Amazon that's like foam and not necessarily a mattress that might pop while I'm in the middle of the mountains. And then I kind of went over to their clearance section because you know me from my videos. I love a good clearance item. I love something that is on sale. So I kind of looked around. I didn't really see anything that was that alluring to me, so I didn't end up picking anything up. The only thing that I actually got on this day was my hiking backpack, which was very, very nice. So that is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched this far, comment down below REI. I will see you guys next time. Bye.